students, I just wanted to help you get through today's lesson a little easier, so I thought I'd go through it with you. So when you open the PowerPoint, this is what you guys see. So it says, welcome back. We have missed you all, and we are so excited to be back teaching all of you this week's lessons. This way of learning is new to all of us, so please bear with us while we teach you today's lesson. So today, what we're going to do is students will be reading nonfiction articles that the school has provided. So they are in the digital backpack. But if you don't have the digital backpack, I also have them on the PowerPoint, so don't worry. And we will be using them to review what we have learned about reading nonfiction books and articles already. So before we start, we always start our day with a context clue or a word of the day. And I did forget to put it on this week's PowerPoint. However, I have it right here. So our word for today is taunt. The passage says, recess was Nick's least favorite time of the day. The older kids always made it a point to taunt and tease him because he liked to read during recess instead of play soccer with everyone else. So let's really think about that, you guys. There are a couple of clues in here. They're synonyms that help us know what the word taunt means in here. So, recess was Nick's least favorite time of the day. So you have to think, if it's his least favorite time of the day, is it going to be something that's positive or is it going to be something that's negative? If it's his least favorite, I'm going to think it's negative. The older kids always made it a point to taunt and tease him because he liked to read during recess instead of play soccer with everyone else. Now, there is a word in there that is a synonym for taunt. It means the same thing. So I want you to go ahead and pause this part, and I want you to reread this, the context clue passage, and go ahead and write what you think taunt means on a piece of paper. Okay, so go ahead and pause and write what you think it means. Okay, so it says the older kids always made it a point to taunt and tease him because he liked to read during recess instead of play soccer with everyone else. So another word for taunt is tease. So if you wrote the word tease or anything that is similar is another synonym for tease, then wonderful. That's great, you guys. So let's go back to the PowerPoint for the lesson. Screen. Okay, you guys, all of the reminders for the strategies we use for nonfiction, I've also uploaded them to this YouTube link, but I'm also going to go through them right now. Okay? So the first thing you need to do when you are reading any type of nonfiction, whether it is a book or it's an article, remember, you have to rev up. So what that means is you're reading the title and the subtitles. So I'm looking at animal ears, adaptations for hearing is the title, and then there's big ears, and then underwater ears would be the subtitles. And then look at all the pictures and read the captions. So I see a picture of a fox and a rabbit and an elephant, and there's a polar bear and a fish and a seal. There aren't any captions that go along with the photos. So let's see what I'm going to do next. Is there important vocabulary? Are there any bold words? So they're big like this. Are they underlined, italicized? That means they're slanted a little, or highlighted words. Well, when I went through it, I noticed that there was a bold word vibration. So I know that's going to play a big part in the article. So when reading nonfiction, preview the text to figure out what it might be about and how to read it. So the title is Animal Ears, and there's a lot of pictures about animals, big ears, underwater ears. So I think it's going to talk about different animals and how they use their ears. Yeah. Also, you need to think to yourself or talk with a partner, anyone at home, about information you already know about the topic. So let's see, some things that I know about ears. Well, I know we use our ears to hear. I know that it can keep us from danger. Like if we heard a scary noise, we know to not go towards that noise, right? So that's what I think we might be discussing today. Also, when reading nonfiction, you want to think to yourself, what type of nonfiction is this? Is it going to be expository, where they're explaining information to us? Is it a biography, like what we read about Jackie Robinson? Or is it an autobiography? It's when someone writes about themselves. Looking at this, I know that I'm going to read about a lot of information. It's going to be explaining to me about animal ears. So I know it's going to be expository. So here is the same exact paper I have. It's in the digital backpack on the SBISD website. I just took a screenshot and put it on here for you guys so you don't have to keep going back and forth. So I'm going to go ahead, since I went through all of my strategies, I revved up, I looked for vocabulary words, I'm going to start reading. And every time I get to a new paragraph, I'm going to write what was important to me in those paragraphs, okay? And then I'm going to share my notes with you as well. So animal ears, adaptations for hearing. Big ears. The fennec fox is the smallest member of the fox family, but it has the biggest ears. It lives in the hottest desert and usually hunts at night when it is cooler. In the dark, the fox relies on its super sharp hearing to find beetles and crickets crawling across the sand. So I did my notes. It looks just like this, but I just made mine on paper because I didn't have a printer. So for the fennec fox, I put the smallest fox, but have biggest ears. They hunt at night. African elephants have the biggest ears on earth and some of the best. They can hear low, rumbly sounds from miles away, but an elephant's ears aren't just good for hearing. The elephant waves its large, thin ears to cool the blood inside them. The cooled blood travels to the rest of the elephant's body to help cool it down too. That's so interesting. I had no idea, you guys. So on my notes, I put elephants' biggest ears. They can hear miles away. Use ears to cool themselves down. A rabbit's large ears catch even the most quiet sounds. The little rabbit doesn't need to turn its head. It turns its long ears to find out where the sound is coming from. Then it quickly hops in the opposite direction. So for rabbit, I have turned their ears to follow sound or to get away from the sound. So this is what my notes look like. I changed them up a bit. I changed them up a bit because after I reread it, there are some things that I put different. So instead of smallest animal, I changed it to smallest fox on my notes. All right, you guys, let's keep going. And you can also pause whenever you need to so that you can see the notes longer if you need. Okay, so the next page is underwater ears. Look at that picture, you guys, of the polar bear. Large floppy ears could freeze in icy water. That's why a polar bear has small ears covered with thick fur. When a polar bear goes swimming, it closes its ears so water won't trickle in. A fish doesn't need an outer ear to collect sounds. Sound vibrations easily pass right through the fish's body and are picked up inside its head. There's one of those vocabulary words right there, you guys, vibrations. So I'm going to reread that and I'm going to think to myself, what could vibrations mean? So a fish doesn't need an outer ear to collect sounds. Sound vibrations easily pass right through the fish's body and are picked up inside the head. So I know that fish don't have ears like humans or even a polar bear. There's nothing that sticks out, but it says sound vibrations easily pass right through a fish's body and are picked up inside the head. So to me, vibrations are going to be some type of signal that allows a fish to know that there could be danger around. That's the fish's way of hearing. So it's their signals. You can tell sea lions from seals by their ears. Sea lions have little flaps for ears, so this must be a sea lion. Seals just have tiny ear holes that close when they dive. Both seals and sea lions have excellent hearing in and out of water. How interesting. Okay, you guys, so what I want you guys to do is, now that I've read it, I want you to pause, and everything that we did for the first page, for this page, with our notes in each column, I want you to do for this page. So go ahead and pause, reread, and make notes for each paragraph, okay? And I'm going to share with you the notes that I have as well. So go ahead and pause. Okay, you guys, so for my notes, I changed them up a bit again because after I reread it, there were things that I noticed. So I put polar bears, small ears with fur to keep them from freezing, ears close underwater. So fish, no ears, vibrations through the body. And then, it's hard to see, but I put what I thought vibrations was right under, signals for fish. And then the sea lions, they have flap for ears. And then while diving, they close, but that's the seal. So I put seal in parentheses. So if our notes don't look the same, that's okay, you guys, because what I think is important when I read, you might think something else is. And our notes, it's okay if they don't look the same. So everything that we've done for animal ears, you guys, I have my target bin, you guys are going to do for slithering snakes. This is also in the digital backpack, but if you don't have the digital backpack, you guys, it's totally fine because I have screenshotted the passage and put it here for you guys as well. So what you're going to do is we worked on animal ears together, and now you will do the same with slithering snakes. So it says, don't forget to rev up. So if you don't remember what revving up is, it's at the top of the PowerPoint, but also it's looking at the titles, the subtitles, the photos, and the captions. Don't forget to look at important vocabulary words. I can already see one right here. And then your blurbs that you're putting in your T-charts, okay? So if you want to, you can upload them to Class Dojo in your student profile, and I'll be able to see what you guys are working on. You can just take a quick picture and then upload them there if you want to. You don't have to. I also don't want you guys to forget to read every day. It's so important that you guys read at least 20 to 30 minutes a day, and you are stopping and jotting on your Post-its. Remember, if you don't have Post-its, You can make your own Post-its on paper, and that's okay, you guys. Just make sure you're writing your thoughts and your ideas about what you're reading. And if you're not able, if you don't have a book, you can always listen to one on Epic or Capstone. Okay, all right, you guys, I will see you guys soon.